Okay, I'm making this video because when I switched from using flat braid and all I had left was this skinny round braid, it was a lot harder to work with, and I wrecked a lot of mass before I figured out what works for me. So I'm just going to show you how to do this. I've actually switched to using, instead of using two pieces of fabric, I'm just using one 9x12 and folding it in half. But the idea is the same, even if you're using the two pieces instead of one. So you start out at the open end, and you sew until you're 1/4 inch away from the end of the seam. Doesn't have to be exact. So the idea, what I found was, you have to sew perpendicular to the elastic. If you have any sort of an angle, it'll cause you problems. So this is how I ensure that happens. I think I need one more stitch there. So I turn it around and I make sure that the material is free, and I raise the presser foot. Then I stick the elastic in, take one end and make it at the end flush with the edge of the fabric. That's because you want to have a bit of a tail that you'll be able to sew over a little when you turn it inside out, so you can anchor it better. So this round stuff really has a tendency to pull out easily. Okay, so this is perpendicular, or it's parallel to this top seam, and it barely, I don't know if you can see, but it barely touches the outside. So then I sew across that, and then I go back and forth a little bit because it's really annoying if I turn it inside out and the braid slips out, and then I have to pick out the seam and start over, which is a nuisance. So I've anchored that in. I sew down to the other end, and I'm going to stop again 1/4 inch away from the end of the fabric. That's because if you put this all the way to the end, I don't know about you, but I have a great deal of trouble not having the thread get all tangled up trying to anchor it. So as you can see, it's parallel to this edge. Well, you probably can't see it, but I can feel it. And it's just about 1/4 inch away. So I just sew over it again. Then I go back and forth a little bit. And then I cut it off. Oop, oop, oop. Okay, so there's that. So then I will show you, once you turn it, here's one I've already done that on. So then you would do it on the other side, of course. So the same thing. So then you cut off the corners. Oop, need better scissors. Then I turn it inside out, and I tug just gently on that. You don't want to pull too hard because it's not anchored that well yet. So you just tug it very gently. Sometimes it does pull out, and then you just have to unpick the corner, stick it back in. Ah, there you go. I am not going to take the time to sew that back in yet. Let me show you this other one. Gently, I'll try to be more gentle this time. This is not fine sewing, after all. Okay, normally I would at this stage iron it, But I'm not going to do that because I know you know how to iron. I'm just going to show you how to anchor it. So this is the part where you sew all the way around the mask, leaving the bottom open to give it a nice strong seam all the way around. Okay, so I start on the open end, and at this point, sew a little bit, back stitch. At this point, this is sort of, you see what direction this is in. At this point, this looks like it's kind of catty corner diagonally across the corner. So I turn this, so I'm trying to go straight across it. And again, I go back and forth. Then go down 1/4 inch. Oh, I don't need to do that. Okay, that's it. I can just go back and forth here. Flip it. And then, because I'm sort of anal, I do, oh shoot, I forgot. I was supposed to pin the pleats in. Okay. I should have done this first, but oh well. I don't want Charlie to have to sit through this again. So, just imagine that I already pinned the pleats in. I'm just going to show you one side because the other side will be just the same. If you're using 2 pieces, you'll also, well, I will too. I'll sew across the top. Okay, so here I'm just going to anchor these pleats, and at the same time I'm going to do another line of stitching over this loop to try and stop it from pulling out. As you can see, I'm not the most awesome seamstress, but I'm not really trying to be particularly careful. Functional is what matters. I really am a better seamstress than this, but I'm in a hurry. Okay, that's it. Good luck. Bye-bye.